All right, so it is time to change some bearings on the campers. This is tandem axle camper. We're going to do these bearings one at a time. So let's get started. For those of you that are new here, my name is Terry and I am a certified and insured mobile RV technician. I trained at the NRVTA in Athens, Texas and at RVTI in Elkhart, Indiana. So we are here to serve all of your RV needs. The first thing you gotta do to get the wheel off is get this dust cap off. Rubber mallet, little screwdriver, pull it around, pull it off. I keep a tray here. It's the lid to my grease kit that I've put together, and I can put a paper towel on there, shop towel, so I can put everything on there. It keeps everything together and nothing is hitting the ground or getting dirty, things like that. Now, this axle, these are Lippert axles, so they have a Cotter pin in place to hold the castle nut on. Some of the others, like Dexter, have a clip that goes across to hold them in place. So with this, just take a couple pliers, bend this Cotter pin back out. Don't ever reuse the Cotter pin, put in new ones. So get that out, just grab a hold of it here and get it out of the way and just throw it away. Now this should always be finger tight, which this one is. So we're just gonna take this off. Remember the order, I always lay these in order that I take them off. So that there, put it there. Next thing is, directly inside here, you've got the washer and the outer bearing, the smaller of the bearings. Now, you don't want these to hit the ground, so I always just put a hand here and reach up and just kind of wiggle it a little bit so they come out, and then it kind of just falls off. And then we've got the washer and the smaller bearing here. And we'll look at those here in a minute. Next thing that I do is I will take a couple shop towels here, set back, and I will lay them down here. That way, when I pull this off, I lay this down on that shop towel there so that I can see what's going on. It gives a little protection there so it's not getting dirt, different things in there. So what you're going to see here is this is the bearing, has a grease seal on the back. This grease seal has got to come off. That's another thing that we will never reuse. So they make seal pullers, things like that. I just use the back end of a claw hammer. Just be careful not to damage the bearing. Just get right into that seal there and just give it a few good hits there and it'll come right off. That's your grease seal. You can see all that old nasty grease that's in there. That's something else that's going to be going to the trash. So I'll take it and we'll discard of it back here. Directly inside that is your inner bearing. You can see this one is over greased and black. Definitely be on time for this one to be done black on the outside. You can see it's still got some of the red grease on the inside, but it's got too much. So we're going to fix that problem here in just a moment. The next thing I'm going to do is just get some shop towels and I'm going to clean all of this old grease out so we can inspect the inside of the hub and the races that are down in here. Those are the races, or some people call them bearing cones. That's what the bearings run on inside the hub. So we'll get all this stuff out. We're going to try not to get any grease on the inside of the hub. If you do, you got to get rid of that because it will cause braking issues. So you want to get this old grease here off of the spindle. Again, you want to be careful not to get that on any of the brake components. So just kind of clean that up. You're checking while you're doing this, making sure there's no nicks or gouges, anything like that that's going to give you an indication that there's been some sort of damage going on there. And then while I'm cleaning this out, I'll take some brake cleaner and just spray some brake cleaner in here. Clean everything up. Knock off all that old dust. Make sure there's any webs or anything. You'll get those off. Same thing on the inside. And then take a clean rag here and make sure that you don't have any grease or anything inside the bearing that's going to cause issues with the brakes. We also want to make sure here that there's no big gouges or anything like that going on that's going to cause issues inside of the lugs. Make sure everything is seated properly down in there. I'll clean this up and show you here in just a moment. It doesn't have to be perfect, but the more you can get out, the better, and the less opportunity for old grease to mix in with new. Ideally, if you're somewhere in a shop or something and have a part cleaning machine, that works great, but brake cleaner works great as well. All right, so now what we're looking at right in here, you can see the little silver that's in there. So I can get a little closer here for you. The silver that's in there, that is the races or the bearing cones on the front and back. You're going to make sure those don't have any nicks or anything in them. Nothing going on like that that's going to cause any issues. Then you want to take, and I'll spray all these components here with some brake cleaner to help kind of clean them up. And then I'll start with the inner, the large, and you want to clean it up. You want to get all that old grease and everything off of there as much as possible. The more you can get out, the better. When we repack, it's going to push a lot more of it out. So we want to get as much as we can out. As we're going around this bearing here and we're looking at these rollers in the bearing. We want to make sure that there's no gouges, marks, nothing that looks like it's burned. If you see anything like that, then you are going to need to replace the bearings. If you replace the bearings, you have to replace the bearing cones or the races because they go together. Don't ever replace your bearings without replacing the cones on the inside. All right, so now that I get these pretty well cleaned up, you can see they've got all the rollers are free and moving there. So then I'm going to take my bearing packer, which I use a handy packer here, and I'm going to take this and just lay the bearing back down in there. You can do these by hand in an old-fashioned way. You can put some grease on your hand and run around and just push it all the way through. There's a couple different tools. Doing as many bearing jobs as I do, being an RV tech, the bearing packer works best. So put it in there, push down, it pushes grease all the way up through, and we're in low on grease in here. So let's see what this does is it pushes the grease all the way through and packs the bearing properly all the way around. Looks like I've got one spot there that didn't come through, so I'm gonna push again, and then I'll have to put more grease in this before I do the next one. And when I pull it out, that bearing is packed all the way around, all the way through, got all the old grease out. So this we're going to take and we're going to set back in that race there. And then we're going to take a new seal. Now, seals, they'll come in two different sizes. This is on these, this particular one is a smaller size. These are Lippert seals. I use actual manufacturer seals. I don't use an Amazon product or anything like that. And then some people will use a piece of wood or something like that. You just want to make sure it doesn't go in too far. I use a bearing kit that I use for races and hubs, and it doesn't allow that to go any further than it needs to go. So we have that new seal in place. So at this point, I get right in here and get some grease. You don't want a ton of it, but I am going to go ahead and put a little bit of grease here on this spindle. Again, being careful not to get it on any of the brake components. And this is just giving it a little lubrication there. So I'll take the hub and put it back in place, just like so. And then we'll move to the outer bearing and get it cleaned up and packed to go on. So we'll take that one, we'll put it right down there in the handy packer. Much more better, much more better. So we'll take that, whip any of this old stuff off, check, make sure we're getting good grease all the way around, and we're gonna take that and put it right there on that spindle. Sometimes you have to play with it to get it in its home. And we'll clean up that washer there, put it back in its place. Same thing with the castle nut, get that good and cleaned up. Put that on. So, don't freak out here. I know some of you are freaking out that have done this before. You're like, what are you doing? It's only supposed to be finger tight. Yes, I know. But if you take a torque wrench and you bring this castle nut to 50 foot-pounds, this is Lippert specs, and then back it off, that helps seat the bearing, everything in place. And you want to loosen it and bring it back to finger tight. And then, like I said, new cotter pin here. We'll back it just enough to get this cotter pin in. Drop that new cotter pin through. And we're going to spread that out. Some people do them all both together. I like doing these, splitting them up. And the last thing I'm going to do here, put a little grease back into the hub. Notice I said a little grease. Some people, and you'll see them on YouTube, they'll pump, 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 spin, 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 pump, pump, spin, spin, until they see grease coming out. By the time grease is coming out, this hub is way too full of grease. You're going to risk blowing out the grease seal on the back end. So we'll just put a few little pumps in, turn just a little bit, just to spin. And that's all you wrote. That's all it needs. It doesn't need to be completely oozing with grease. Then we're going to take this, clean the dust cover up a little bit. I like to spray it and make sure there's no debris or anything down in there that's going to risk getting into the bearings. Make sure everything's nice and cleaned up here. You're going to put it back on again. Rubber mallet. You don't want to damage these things. And just go around and tap that thing back into place. Well, there's stuff to the other side, and we're going to get this wheel back on, and we're going to move to the next one. And we'll leave the cover off on this because after we finish everything, we'll go around and torque all of these lug nuts back to 100 foot-pounds the way it goes. And some people will tell you can't jack up from the axle. Yes, you can. Closer in. You don't want to go way out toward the middle, but just doing a tire or two at a time, yes, it's perfectly acceptable to do that. All right, last thing we're going to do here is adjust this torque wrench back to 100 foot-pounds and ensure that all of the lug nuts are set. Usually my impact gun is set properly, but we always check. Now, I'm going to get the other side done. I'm going to get these back on. Then I'm going to get the other side torqued out the spec, get everything put back together, clean up all of my stuff here. So, bearings should be done every year, or 10 to 12,000 miles, whichever comes first. I know I hear a lot of times people say, well, I only do, 2 or 3 trips a year. We only travel 500 or 1,000 miles, something like that. You still need to do them every year. Grease is not designed to sit. It's got to move. So yearly or 10 to 12,000 miles, whichever comes first. Give us a call over at Roaming RV Services, www.roamingrvservices.com. We have flat rate service for bearings. Until next time.